Hello everyone, xForts here, and welcome back to another episode of Holy Corpse Analysis.
Kept you waiting, huh?
If you haven't seen the first episode covering the eyes, that will be linked down below, as it also serves as an introduction to the series with a general overview of the Holy Corpse, its history, and the Devil's Palm, so I recommend you watch that one first. But today is all about the spine of the Holy Corpse. The spine first appears in chapter 36, the Green Tombstone Part 1, during the 4th stage of the Steel Ball Run race, and is located in northern Kansas, just outside of Kansas City, near the fictional landmark, the Green Tombstone, which could possibly be a Devil's Palm location, but more likely just a small Native American ruin due to the drawings on the rock suggesting it was man-made. The spine is described by Valentine as the most important corpse part, and that all other parts will gravitate to the spine, as it's the central part of the human body. And during the fight for the spine, the theme of being in center or balance can be seen in various ways, as the spine is located in the center of the country near the city of Kingsley, Kansas, which is famous for being 1,561 miles from New York and from San Francisco, as well as Kingsley is the location of the 4th stage's goal, which marks the halfway point of the race and the story of Steel Ball Run as a whole. So it's just about perfect that the center of the corpse would appear at this point in the story, and works really well as a mid-part climax, as pretty much every major character is involved and they're all racing to the spine, which also naturally makes for a more complex story structure with multiple parties involved with different motivations and an unpredictable flow of information influencing said parties. So before we just jump right into the spine's abilities and everything we saw it do, I think it's important to provide context on where our characters are in the story and how they reach the spine, which will then lead into its abilities and how it's unique from the other corpse parts. Because if you noticed, what a corpse part actually uses and the abilities it has really depends on the situation and what our characters are doing. So to start off, during the 4th stage of the race taking place in Kansas, Diego is the first character to go after the spine after learning of its location through his left eye's turbo ability, while Johnny and Gyro had also known of the spine's location from right eye's turbo, but Gyro suggests to prioritize the race, although they quickly change plans after learning of Diego's whereabouts through Sandman, who claims Diego headed north to avoid rivers, while Johnny and Gyro realize he was actually going north towards the spine and quickly race after him. Meanwhile, President Valentine is also hot on the trail of the spine and is currently staying in Kansas City, awaiting Ringo Rodegan's messenger pigeon revealing the spine's exact coordinates. As during the True Men's World arc, Ringo had stolen Johnny's map, wrote down the location of the spine, and sent it off to Valentine, all while in the middle of a fight, thanks to his stand mandem allowing him to rewind time. But while Valentine awaits Ringo's message, Lucy Steele, who is also staying in Kansas City, traveling with her husband Steven Steele in order to supervise the race, intercepts Ringo's message in an effort to disrupt Valentine's plan, as she discovers Valentine intends to murder Steven Steele as soon as he's no longer useful to him, because apparently Lucy just so happens to be able to perfectly read lips. So with the intent to protect her husband, Lucy steals Ringo's message, escapes Valentine's assault, and is able to reach the corpse before Diego, Johnny, and Gyro. But Lucy is also being followed by one of Valentine's stand users, Blackmore, who possesses Catch the Rainbow, which allows him to quickly move throughout rainfall and pursue her. So as Lucy arrives at the Green Tombstone, we see our first glimpse at the spine, and as she uncovers it, Diego is alerted of it being taken through his left eye, being able to communicate with the spine to some degree. But shortly after Lucy obtains the spine, she is attacked by Blackmore and it is stolen away from her, and then we see possibly the strongest ability possessed by a single corpse part, which is instant transportation, as Blackmore and the surrounding objects like the telephone pole he was holding onto and Lucy and her horse are teleported to a town 26 kilometers away from Kansas City. And upon Blackmore and Lucy's confusion, the physical body of the saint appears, confirming the suspicion and implication that the corpse is that of Jesus Christ. And seeing that Jesus is able to manifest in some sense through the power of just the spine confirms Valentine's assumption that the spine is the most important corpse part, as the only other time the saint appears is during the Civil War arc when he talks to Johnny, who is currently in possession of the spine. So it appears that the spine is the only corpse part that gives the saint this power. But back to Jesus' first appearance, it appears as if he is going to talk to Blackmore, and maybe he does, but it's just not revealed to the reader, as speech bubbles are on the panel, but it's covered by rain and clouds from the storm. But whether he does or not, Lucy shoots Blackmore out of the sky and he falls to the ground, triggering another instant teleport, going even further away from Kansas City, but closer to Johnny, who is currently in possession of the left arm, showing that possibly once the spine is combined with the power of a stand user, it may activate a dormant ability within the part that allows it to instantly teleport to the other corpse parts that are also being activated by current users like Diego, Johnny, and Gyro, who are all in possession of a corpse part and fighting at this moment in time. So after the spine brings Lucy closer to Johnny and Gyro after 2 instant teleports, she's eventually eventually able to catch up with them shortly after they defeat Diego and then Blackmore. The spine then combines with Johnny, assuming it's more attracted to the arm than the eye, and reveals the location of 2 more corpse parts, well technically 4 because it's both of the ears and both of the legs, which is the most information a corpse part has ever revealed throughout the story. So it's safe to say that the spine is by far the most powerful corpse part. Being able to manifest the saint to a certain capacity, instant teleport itself, objects, and people around it to other corpse parts, reveal the location of multiple corpse parts, and even control the weather. As Blackmore stated, the persistence of the storm and its severity was caused by the spine. As Steel Ball Run continues, Johnny would hang on to the spine for the remainder of the 4th stage as well as the beginning of the 5th, but after his fight against Sandman, the spine is stolen away by Hot Pants, although she leaves Johnny a single vertebrae to retain his stand. And while Johnny had control of the spine, it helped him evolve his stand into Tusk Act 2, along with Gyro's lessons, and during the Civil War arc, Jesus himself guides Johnny to achieving new power through Tusk Act 3, which I assume was somewhat in part of the spine's power, even if it was just a single vertebrae, but it's also possible that the spine was using its full power as Hot Pants was also nearby with the rest of it. And as for the spine's possession throughout the rest of Steel Ball Run, after the Civil War arc, the spine would follow most of the other corpse parts in subsequent order, going to Valentine, Lucy, Johnny, and then obtained by the US government. So after Jesus' appearance during the Civil War arc, the spine's power remained dormant until combining with the other corpse parts, contributing to the abilities Ticket to Ride and Love Train, and we never saw its teleport ability used again or used by itself, which makes sense and isn't much of a surprise as it seemed the spine's main ability was to gather other corpse parts. So those were all of the abilities and the progression of the spine throughout Steel Ball Run. Definitely the backbone of the Holy Corpse, quite literally, and the most powerful part, being able to do a lot of things associated with Jesus, like manifesting the man himself, raising him from the dead, so to speak, being able to change the weather, and teleport to other corpse parts, as well as make a map and reveal their location. Extremely powerful stuff. So like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and let me know what Holy Corpse part you guys want to see covered next on the next episode of Holy Corpse Analysis. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.